it's always hard for me to know what details to tell and what details to skip over because I've been over it in my own head 1,000 times. But it has to do with that old black magic called love. And if you can follow that, you'll understand some of these things, they just didn't make any sense and they did just happen. And even the way it's sequenced barely makes any sense to me. But that's what was going on. No matter how I talk about it, what they said, what I said, it's like no one understood what I was saying. And they taught me how to speak on the piano. So I swear I could communicate, but they were not receptive at all. So I was at the airport, and Princess Leia is there to pick me up. She has a sign that says Star Wars, and I go with her. And I don't know why, but that's what I did. I was looking for Kyle. Because that was what the little midget man told me to look for. He told me to look for this man Kyle from basically the game of Guess Who. And she drives me up into the hills, which, I don't know what hills. And a house that is very nice, that's sort of Spanish and white and alabaster and marble. And she tells me, "This is your house." I said, "It is?" She says, "Yes." And I get out and I go to the side door and it is unlocked. I walk in, I look around, and I think, well, I guess I'll go upstairs and use the bathroom. And I swear, in the blink of an eye, you snap your fingers, 3 or 4 people appear right in front of me, and one of them looks like this man, basically. They just appear there, and I try to speak to them, but none of my words are having an effect, and he punches me in the eye, and everything goes black. I wake up in an unfinished basement. There's another boy there, and a couple of hombres. This is a Pizza Gate sort of a situation that happens next. I was not enthused. 1 or 2 days passes. The au pairs come, just like Princess Leia said they would. And one of them looks like this man, and his partner basically looks like this woman. That doesn't really mean anything, but that's what they sort of looked like. We get into another van. I don't know what type of van it was. I can't remember it. It was a different van than the other type of van, though. Perhaps a maxi van, because it did have a 3rd row, but it was not the same as the vans I was used to. We go to a beach resort. I don't know, maybe it was just by the sea, and it was strange brownstone homes. And they tell me to talk to this old man on this veranda at his white steel table, and he has a carafe of Orange Julius. I'm sorry, this man. He looks like this man, but he was too old to be this man. If this man was very old, that was what he would look like. And he has a maid, and his maid brings out this carafe, this entire carafe of Orange Julius. And he says, "Here." I said, "I do not want it." And no matter how many times I try to communicate with this person and get a response from him, he does not respond correctly, or he ignores me. And so I do not drink it. And it goes bad because all of the condensation stopped, being on it. So it was basically spoiled. And this made him mad. And he called the au pairs back. and they took me to a house in the wood. And I believe he decided that he would have me killed, because I spent all day out at the beach ignoring him until the Orange Julius went bad. And at this house in the woods that the au pairs take me to, there was a fat boy and his mom. And he says some really wild things. And just like I'm expected to, I say, "Can I swim in your pond?" And he says, "Yeah. It is full of some kind of a battery acid or something. It ends up burning my skin off. It's not a good time." Anyways, I go upstairs and I shower, and I try to get over it. I try to, I take a big old diamond dump, and I say, "That wasn't a very good joke." And I went in the car, and the au pairs eventually came, and they started to drive me away. And we went somewhere for the night, a motel, and then in the morning I said, "Go back, I forgot to tell that kid something." And they do. And we go back there, and I beat this kid. I pick up a quart of firewood, and I start beating this kid. And I gorilla press this larger child into the pond full of battery acid. And when he comes out, I treat him like I was treated at the pizza party the other day, but not for very long or anything. And I leave him there after I beat him with this quart of firewood, with this big branch of firewood. And I get back into the au pair's car, and they take me to this house out in the mountains. Guess that's good enough for chapter 2.